get over yourself.
Right,
And this is
right.
kind of what I say to people when I talk on about a video and I talk about like playing like Brown Eyed Girl, and then somebody will be like, "Oh, I would rather be dead than play that song." I'm like, that's a little bit. You're being a little bit
Yeah, that's a little dramatic. Yeah,
extreme.
yeah.
Like, are you that freaking important that
Right.
like you're too good? You're too whatever you it is to play that song for some person that comes up to you and wants to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This week, I had a chance to sit down with Frank Persico. He's a musician out of the New York City area and also a YouTuber with over 35,000 followers to his channel. He does a bunch of instructional videos for musicians and anybody trying to get into the solo acoustic game. Today, we kind of dived into who Frank is behind the camera, behind the YouTube, behind the music, and what he's learned as he grew his YouTube channel from the 1,000 subscribers that he had in 2023 to the current audience that he speaks to every week. Hopefully you enjoy the conversation, and if you do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I have a ton of people that I'm going to be talking to this year, and I can't wait to share their conversations with you. All right, let's see what Frank's all about. I have so many questions to ask you, and
Go ahead, man.
first of all, thank you for everything you do, man. I don't know
Thanks.
if you know how. I mean, I'm sure you kind of have a grasp as to how much
Man,
effect you have on people.
I'm getting an idea of it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
it's
go
it's
ahead. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like for me, even being in it for as long as I have, it's nice to watch your videos and learn. I'm learning all kinds of new things from you and different angles to look at things. That's one of the things I love about, kind of getting to talk to other
Nice.
musicians. And
Mm-hmm.
like the camera I'm on right now, this is the Osmo Pocket 3. I never would have
Oh,
heard.
what? Don't even tell me it's because of me.
Yeah, man.
Oh
Absolutely.
shit!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. 1 quadrillion%. I bought it through
Oh
your
shit!
Amazon link. Like I
All
was
right.
like, I have
That makes me
to
feel good.
I have to get this camera because you sold it in a way that was practical for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
because I
was
know what our use case is.
you got it.
Right?
You
Yeah.
got it. And I loved like whenever you were talking about it and you were like, "Hey, the best camera is the one that's accessible and the one that you're going to be able to like grab and go." You know what I mean?
Yeah. And do the job. It does both.
Yes.
It's not a
Yes.
compromise for what
No.
we're doing most of the time.
Right, right. You're doing great work for musicians,
Thanks,
man.
man. All right, cool. I
So
like hearing that.
I just want to open up by saying that because
Thanks.
today we could tackle a million subjects that have to do with solo acoustic stuff, but I just want to direct people to your channel because
Okay,
everything
thank
that
you.
we could talk about when it comes to solo music is on your channel. You've got videos that deal with everything from getting gigs to how much to charge to, how to deal with bookers, how to market yourself. You have like this toolkit that everybody already has access to that. So whenever I was coming up with questions to ask you today, I was like, I don't really want to cover much of the music stuff because you've already
It's talk
covered
whatever
it.
you want. All
So
right. Yeah, whatever you want to talk about.
I'm just going to dive into who you are and ask some YouTube questions
Sure.
that because I'm getting started in the journey, right? So what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy playing gigs more, or do you enjoy creating content, or is it one and the same? What do you enjoy, man?
Wow. Okay. There's a lot to that.
Sure.
I've been gigging a long time. I love. This is where I'm at now.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, when I first started get right now, what do I love more? I love them both. Without the gigging, there is no content,
Sure.
right? In a way,
Right.
or without the years of past gigging, there's no story, there's no content,
Right.
right? So they're kind of connected. Right now, if you were to ask me right at this moment, I kind of enjoy making the content more
Yeah, yeah.
than the gigging. I like gigging more when I do less of it lately.
Yeah. I feel
If that
that.
makes
I
any
feel that.
sense.
No, 100%. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
There's definitely but gigging is great. It's good money for the time, for the hours spent at the physical gig. But too much of it for the type of gigs I do and probably most of us do,
Yep.
it can, if you're not in the right mindset, it could eventually weigh you down. But then I'd imagine even if you're Billy Joel playing the garden every night, that could weigh you down. So like
Right.
right? It's a
Right.
grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind. So what I like making the content, probably I would say a little bit more right now, because the content, at least the way I'm approaching it, it encapsulates everything and it keeps me on my journey. It keeps me uh accountable. In other
Ah,
words, not only going to the gigs, all right, fine, but practicing the damn instrument. Because
right.
when I lose the passion, and I just having there's periods of time when I'm just like, I don't feel like practicing. I don't feel like playing. I'm not
Right.
into it.
Yeah.
I'm doing this a long time,
Yeah, 30 years or
and
whatever. Yeah,
I'm
man.
doing it a long fucking time,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, sometimes I admire people that always want to play. I don't know if anybody's really like that, but there are maybe a few, some obviously. I'm sure Tommy Emmanuel always wants to play, but sometimes I'm just like, so making content. I'm like, let me share that part of it too.
Right.
Like, let me just share my everything about what this is about from my perspective.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I get
You
that
know,
entirely. It makes perfect sense to me.
I don't
Like,
know if I answered the question,
yeah,
but like
yeah, yeah.
the content is like your diary. It's like your story
Right. Right.
more than it's like I'm going to teach you how to do this.
right. As I'm venturing into creating content and doing like gig wrap up videos every week and doing the video podcast and doing all these things now, because that was like my goal in 2025 was to grow my YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channel because I have like 300 subscribers, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and most of my videos up until this month, were getting 20 to 30 views besides a
Mm-hmm. I know the
one
feeling.
yeah one Dropkick Murphys video that I
Mm-hmm.
did that has like 55,000 or 60,000 views. That's the only video that like ever really caught fire on
That's
the
great.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but as I'm venturing into that, I'm finding like I really enjoy the creative aspect of making content. I like
Yeah, it's fun. It's
all
hard.
of it's so hard.
Freaking hard.
It's so
But
hard.
it's hard. The
Yeah,
hardest thing.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, I can play gigs 5 days a week, and
Uh-huh.
but making a one video that tells people the top 10 tips and then not like the top 10 tips of whatever. Like I released one this morning, top 10 open mic
Uh-huh.
tips. And it's like,
Good stuff.
yeah, just kind of telling people my thoughts on it. But then
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, I'm sitting there like, you really think you know what the top 10 like I'm inside my own head and I'm like
Yeah, yeah,
self-analyzing, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
but
But if you're telling it from your perspective or your reality of how you're experiencing it,
yeah.
my thing is I try. I hope I do. I'm not. Who the hell am I to try to come across as an authority on anything?
I get that. Yeah.
That's never like. So if I'm talking about something or whatever it is, I'm just telling you my experience, my observation, and how it's affected me one way or the other. You can decide for yourself. Frank's a shitty player. Why do I care what he thinks? Or I don't like what he does. So that's up to you. I don't really care what you
Right.
think. I'm just telling you. And apparently, whatever I'm sharing, other people experience it too. Obviously, so maybe it does help. That's what makes it help people or makes it valuable to people.
Right.
Is the truth of it?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right?
And people like authenticity. You know, they like to be able to think
Yeah.
that you're just being you, whether you're good or bad. Like whether you're right or
Yeah.
wrong in their
I'll
opinion.
make mistakes on my live show. I'm like, all right, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm not trying to be. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, show me how to do it. We can make a chat. We can make a video about you teaching me how I did it
Right.
wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll
Yeah.
learn it right there, and then we'll do it right.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't do it right.
Now, I really connected with what you said at the beginning of that, man. Like whenever I started playing, I was playing like 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 shows a week for 3 years, 4 years, and then I'm like,
That's great though.
it was
But it weighed.
oh my god, and playing covers like you said, like doing
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
do, and you're just out there playing covers. It's like
What am I doing?
how many times?
How did I get to this? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How did this happen?
How did this happen to me? And people are like, "Don't you just love what you're doing?" And I'm like, what? That is so
But, you know,
complicated.
It's complicated, but I always remind myself, but you have to. You make it. You're playing your guitar and you're
Oh,
singing.
right. Yeah.
So like get. And I'm saying to you, I sound like I'm being snarky, but I'm saying it to me really. get over yourself.
Right,
And this is
right.
kind of what I say to people when I talk on about a video and I talk about like playing like Brown Eyed Girl, and then somebody will be like, "Oh, I would rather be dead than play that song." I'm like, a little bit. You're being a little bit
Yeah, that's a little dramatic. Yeah,
extreme.
yeah.
Like, are you that freaking important that
Right.
like you're too good? You're too whatever you it is to play that song for some person that comes up to you and wants to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Really? Like,
we're facilitators of a
come
good
on.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like get out of
Yeah.
that comment does more damage to you than it does to you're telling yourself that you're actually and I've been there. That's why I say it. I don't think
Right.
I was young or saying like and even still you still get that feeling inside.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
someone's like play, could you play Sweet Caroline and you're just like and I'm done now, but now I guess because I'm old and I already don't I'm just like
Yeah.
do do do. I don't care, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
all right.
Yeah. I feel that I talk a lot of shit on Sweet Caroline on this show, but I'll tell you what, most of the
It
time
works.
it works. It works like 99% of the time, and it's one of the songs that even if you're playing a gig and nobody is engaged, like the crowd
They'll
is
get
kind of
it.
not,
Yeah.
dude, it's the one that brings everybody in. And then you have them. You know what I mean? At least for that
Country Road,
song.
another one.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Same deal.
I'll tell you a quick story with Country Road. One of them. Stories, but one. But I'll tell you this one story of Country Road. So I had these kids call me. This was not even a year ago. It was because of the YouTube or the Instagram. Somewhere this kid, somebody texted me or Instagram messages me. We want you to play a party. It was out in where the hell was it? Garden City
Mm.
at a pub, whatever, private party. And I forgot what it was, but somehow in the wording, I'm like, these are young people. I could tell by the way the kids. I'm old. I'm 50. This is a young person. And it wound up being. I wound up on the phone with the guy to iron out the details. It wound up being. It was his 21st birthday
What?
that his mom was making him, and he wanted me to come play.
I got you.
My friends and I love the oldies. So I got off the phone. I said to my wife, I'm like, I don't know if I'm really, really depressed that I play the oldies, or am I really happy that a group of 20-something-year-olds love this music and want to hear it.
Mm.
Well, long story short, so I'm playing the party. These kids were engaged. They were engaged. They knew all the 90s stuff, all those oldies. They knew everything. They were asking for stuff. I was like, man, like these kids were into this music. And a whole group of them, not a whole part. And then at one point, the kid whose party it was, Brendan, his name was, he said, do you mind if my brother, my little brother, comes up when you take your set break and play some songs on your guitar? I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. They were great. I don't care.
Hell yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
The kid gets up, Country Road by John Denver, and this is a young guy, and the room, they obviously they loved him more than me.
Oh,
because
yeah,
he was
yeah.
the kid's brother. It always goes that way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. And he did a good job, but like, and I'm sitting there going,
Yeah, it's universal almost.
that's not an endorsement
Yeah.
of that. And a young guy who shouldn't even know the damn song,
Right.
playing it on guitar, which means he learned it, singing it to a room full of people who are all kids, and they're loving it. They're eating it up.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says in the comments about that song.
Nope.
I don't need any more data than that.
Right, right. Yeah. It's a crowd pleaser. And that's, most of our job as musicians, man, is just to entertain people. And it's like, what entertains them more than a song that they know every single word? Like,
Yeah.
they're going to want to
People
sing
don't
along.
remember what is it? People remember how you make them feel
Yeah, yeah.
in general.
Absolutely.
Whether it's you ever have somebody? I'll make this quick. This is going to be like out of nowhere, but this is the way where my brain goes. You ever have somebody say something and you just didn't hear it right, but it sounded wrong, like something that hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
and this is to my point, and then you go, oh, I heard that like wrong, and they really didn't say anything bad at all. In fact, they might have said something nice, but the feeling that you have from the thing that you think you even heard
Yeah.
stays even after the person is vindicated, because they didn't even like, you just misheard it. Maybe there was a noise in the background and the word sounded different. Have you ever had something like that happen?
Oh
And
yeah.
but the feeling that you experienced from the thing that wasn't even real
Right.
stays.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a perfect case in point here. There's a local booker in our area that books for a bunch of places, right? And my girlfriend and I were talking yesterday. She so this booker said something to me one time, that she thought that I was charging too much for my gigs, right? And it wasn't directly meant that way. She just basically said, hey, we can't afford that, right? But that's
Yeah.
not what I heard. I heard,
Of course.
I
Yeah.
heard you aren't worth.
You are, well, it's not the best way to put it.
Right, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And
Oh, you heard.
that's exactly what I heard. I heard you aren't worth what you're charging, and I'm like, I fucking hate this lady. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's not what she said. She just said that they couldn't
Yeah,
afford
bookers,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Bookers.
you heard, yeah.
Yeah. So it's always interesting to me that you can, I mean, everything that we hear, everything that we feel, it's so subjective to where you are, past experiences, all that stuff. It has
Your mood at
nothing.
that moment.
Yeah. Have you eaten recently?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
What else happened that day before you got there,
Yeah.
to the gig? What do you have to do after?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know. Hmm.
It always affects some way, man. No, I
But
like,
you know
I
what
like that.
I find, and this is almost, I gotta say, 100% of the time. Every time I come home from the gig, no matter how I leave the house, I always come home happier than when I left.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Same. Same.
Always.
Yeah.
I never leave a gig and like, oh, damn it. I walk in the door, it's late, I'm tired, I'm sweaty, whatever it is. Put my keys down, I'm always like, I'm tired, but yeah, it might have been hard work, but I'm never emotionally stressed. I'm always less stressed than when I left.
Right. Right.
I always feel good after a gig.
I
Always.
I had like a switching moment for myself last year where I started looking at what we do as like solo musicians stuffed in these bars and all that, as we are like light workers, right? We're kind of out there, we're spreading good vibes, we're there to be like the party instigator, you know what I mean? Like we have this role to fill. And I used to come home and be, somewhat angry if a gig was like, if I was just background noise for a while. Now I just have like this feeling of like you said earlier, like this
Hmm.
gratitude that I make
Yeah.
noise for a living. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm getting paid to make noise, and it really just framing it that way changed
And you are
everything.
connecting to people. There's people there that are paying attention.
Yeah,
There are. Some of them aren't. Some of them are. What are you gonna do? You're
right,
not. They're not there. They didn't buy tickets to the Frank
man,
Persico show that night.
right, right,
And then you know what? How many times you see, even in venues where somebody did pay money to see the Frank Persico show, where the performer's getting pissed because somebody is doing something.
yeah,
People are what they are. It's
right,
you see. I'm saying professional, but you see like there's how many clips of like performers, big name performers, getting mad at somebody in the audience
right, right.
and saying, "Well, I'm not going to play until this person stops doing whatever it is they're doing."
Yeah.
Yeah, and we almost always look down at the performer when they do that,
Right.
not the
Yes.
person being the idiot. We
Yeah.
expect that person. They're in the audience because they're who they are.
Right.
What are they are? Who knows who they are? We don't even know who they are.
You're just like play your
So
songs. Play your songs.
you're the grown up. You're
Yeah.
the grown up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. It's not always easy to do,
Right. 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 Yeah. But it's good to have
from
that
every.
that mindset. You know what I mean? Because if you have that mindset
Yeah.
where you're like, all right, I mean, I'm here to do this, and this is, I can't control what people do around me.
No,
But,
you're
you know what I
getting paid to
mean?
practice.
Yeah.
You're getting
Oh,
paid to practice.
yes. Yes. Yes.
That's another way I look at it. Sometimes it's better. Like I tell you, I played this party once. This was up in Connecticut, so they hired me. I do a lot of. Not since COVID as much, but it's starting to come back. In fact, I just got some good stuff coming. I used to do mostly corporate stuff, like casino gigs, like private events. and then bars and stuff. For quite a while, I didn't do any bars, and it actually screwed me up because what happened was
Hmm.
I was doing so many other bigger, more like foo kind of events that the bars would. It started to be like, oh, don't even bother. You're not gonna. He's booked. Like, don't even bother calling for him. Like, he's not
Ah,
gonna. And then when certain things started to happen, and then COVID, it almost became and then a lot of the work dried up. A lot of the places that might have been where I used to be able to play already, like, it's like the booty call that you don't capitalize on. Eventually,
right.
the booty call. And maybe I shouldn't
No,
use
that's
that
perfect. That's a perfect
phrase, but back
analogy.
when you're younger, you had the booty call. You had the booty call. A few times you don't answer the booty call, then you need the booty call. There's
Yeah,
no more booty
no,
call.
no, not even returning the messages.
The booty call already found somebody to fill them. Now that's probably not a good way to put it,
That's a perfect way.
but that's really
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, yeah.
Um. So what the hell was I talking about? I was
You
about to
you were
say
talking
something.
you were
Oh,
talking about yeah,
Connecticut.
yeah.
So I get in. I walk into this big, nice house, and there's a big catered shit going on in the kitchen and all this other stuff, and that's where everybody is. So I said to the host, I said, well, I guess you'd probably want me to set up like over here because I see this is where the bar is. This is where. He goes, oh no, we have you set up in the other room on the other side of the house. Walk through this hallway, and I'm like they hired me to have me some freaking. Well, I go down the hallway, and there's a room, and there's chairs lined up like a recital hall, and there's a stool and a cup of water, and there's a whole,
What?
and I'm like, this is to the point of us talking about not being paid attention to, and at this time I remember going, holy shit, they're actually going to be listening to me. I better. I don't even know what to do. I'm so used to like nobody listening. At least that's how I felt. I'm like, shit, now I have to do a good job.
Oh
So
man,
they
yeah.
came in, they got their food, and they sat. They were quiet, and it was the Frank Persico show. They do have any original. I played some. It was actually an awesome night. But I meant my first instinct was,
Oh
oh
no.
shit, they're
Yeah,
gonna be listening.
yeah,
Isn't that what you're supposed to
yeah.
want?
Right.
But I've been so accustomed up to that point for the last year. The gigs I was doing were all, like, cocktail party, whatever it was, where they're not listening in the same way.
Right. Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot what that was like when people actually,
Oh,
it was your show.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's such a different feeling. Like during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
I played a bunch of like private parties in people's houses. That was kind of because I was just getting
Mm-hmm.
started. You know what I mean? And people would book me, and I showed up to this one house. It was four people in a living room, and I played to
Oh,
them.
that's tough too.
Holy
That's
crap!
very intimate. Yeah, yeah. It could be more scary than 100 people.
Yes, yeah, it was eye-opening for me because I was like, "Oh, I have a lot of holes in my like confidence and my delivery." And I'm like, "Oh
Well, there
no."
you go.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're gonna be, any hole's gonna be a crater when you're doing it in front of people.
Yeah, with no
To
amplification.
you, not necessarily to them.
Right, right. Yeah.
To you.
Yeah. Like the whole time I'm
It
like,
only becomes a thing to them if you make it that.
"Right, right."
That's up to you.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things, and I've talked about that on the podcast a million times. The confidence that you have to portray when you're on stage, even if you don't have it, is so
You have to.
important. Like, if you look like you don't belong up there, people are going to treat you like you don't belong up there. Like,
You
that's,
don't want to flinch around the dog or you're gonna get bit.
you got it. You got
That's how
it.
I look at it. If you
Yeah.
show the dog fear, if he goes to bite and he's gonna nip you.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing with them.
Yeah. I have a German Shepherd, so I know exactly what you're talking
You know
about.
the deal.
Yeah.
If you
She's,
do this.
yeah,
Forget
yeah, yeah. When people used to come over here for the podcast, I'd be
it.
like,
Go with it.
you just, yeah, let her sniff you. Let
Let
her,
her.
yeah, yeah, let her be
Put
around
your
you.
hand down.
You got it. You got it. She'll be fine. But if you look like you're scared, she will lose her mind.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're done.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with a shepherd,
right.
they're like that.
So she's really good at identifying shitty people way before I know they're shitty. Like if she meets somebody,
Yeah, dogs are
she
good.
has this incredible sense. Like if she doesn't like you, there is
Chances are you're
100
not gonna like it.
You got it. There's 100% reason I shouldn't like you.
My Rottweiler was like that back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what the funny thing too? My Rottweiler, my old house, I could be upstairs, and you could hear the door open and somebody walked in. Or people would, and if I was upstairs with somebody, they'd be like, some watchdog you have. I'm like, no, if they're in this house, they're good. Because if they weren't good, he'd have been barking before they even were 10,
Oh
before they
yeah.
were 50 feet away from the house.
Oh yeah.
So I don't, whatever it is that's in this house right now that you kind of hear is already, they're already good.
You
They're
got it.
friends. They're
Yeah.
whatever they are. Because if they weren't, he'd have been at the window before they even came near the house.
You got it. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
ask me how.
Dude, she knows. She knows when my girlfriend is going to be getting in the driveway about
They could hear the
3
car.
minutes
Yeah.
before she gets here. Makes no
Yeah,
sense to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wild.
Dogs are wild.
Wild. All right. I got some
Okay,
more
go ahead.
questions
Back
for you.
to yeah. We
yeah.
can do whatever you want. Man.
It's
Music,
okay.
What do you want to talk about?
It's good.
You want to talk about music? You want to talk about?
I want to talk about what is in your opinion, because I've never gigged there. What's the hardest part of gigging in the New York City metro area?
Huh. Well, when you say metro, do you mean like Manhattan?
Manhattan,
Or
yeah,
like
that area.
Or more busy
Or
areas
just
like Brooklyn.
yeah.
The hardest part, the logistics,
Sure.
traffic, parking.
Mm.
And if you're in Manhattan, getting the gear. Let's say you're doing a private event in Manhattan, and it's in like a hotel. You might be on the 60th floor.
Right.
Getting the car put somewhere, then getting the stuff from the car into whatever part of the building, if it's a building you have to get into.
Yeah.
Or let's say you have a gig, which I don't really do gigs in Manhattan that much anymore, because especially now they have congestion pricing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They charge you to drive your car.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not doing it. So I'll do some gigs, but I just raised all my rates. Like I do a lot of Central Park, I'll do weddings in Central Park.
Mm.
For a lot of foreigners. They come mostly from the UK. They'll get married in the park during the spring and the summer and the fall. And for that I just up the rates.
I got
I
you.
tell my planner the rates are higher. You want to do it? So, and they're doing it. So, but logistics,
Yeah.
parking, traffic, and then getting the stuff from wherever you parked, wherever that may happen to be, to the place.
Yeah.
But that's not all of New York. That's not even all of New York City.
Right.
That's like if you had a gig at a pub in Times Square.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I had a private event, Christmas party, at a restaurant on the East Side, and it just got lucky that time. There was a parking garage right next to it. So I literally pulled my car down. You're from PA, so you come to Manhattan, so you know the deal.
Yeah, I kind of lived up there for a while.
So you know how it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was lucky. I was able to roll my stuff up the thing, through the thing, and the restaurant, the private event was right there. So I was like, all right, that was easy,
Yeah.
And then you got to paying for parking.
Yeah.
If you're in Manhattan, that's a real expense.
Right. Oh,
You know,
yeah. 100%.
But depending on the gig. So like for me, like if it's like I won't take a bar gig in Manhattan anymore. I haven't for a long time. Because they don't have the budget to make it worth me dealing with all the pain and anguish.
Right.
And I gotta get what time the gig's at 7. All right, it's a Friday. Okay, I gotta get into Manhattan. I'm only 8 miles outside of Manhattan, but it might as well be 100 miles.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to compete.
50 miles.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to compete with the guys that are already in the city.
You got to get there.
Yeah.
Well, even that. All right, guys already in the city. Okay, so let's say the gig is on the Upper West Side. I don't know, whatever it is. He's down in Battery City, whatever it is. He's still got to get there.
Right. Yeah.
Does he drive?
Probably
He's got to
not.
bring gear.
Yeah. Right.
He's got to have gear.
Yeah.
It's a logistical nightmare anyway.
Yeah.
Not nightmare. It's not as easy as the gigs I mostly play here, where I throw my stuff in the car, whatever's already in the car. It's already in the car.
Right.
Most of the shit. I grab my guitar, I throw that in the car. I drive, I park my car, I roll in. Set up. Hi, Frank. Hey, how are you? Here's your club soda. Doot, doot. And I play.
Yeah.
If it's a private event, like a wedding, let's say, there's a little bit of the am I gonna have how do I convince the valet guy that he's not gonna have to park my car? Just let me. You get there early enough. You get
Right.
there before the valet even's on. I get there before the valet is there.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I do whatever I park my car wherever I want. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Are you on
Or
the
you throw
Long
in some
Island
money.
side or are you?
I'm in Queens,
Oh, okay. All right.
so I can literally hop to Long Island. I'm
Okay.
pointing east right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
or I can go into Brooklyn, or I can go. I'm right by JFK Airport.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So I'm like in the middle of the star almost. I can kind of go either way.
At a
Anyway,
previous life of mine, I had an office in Bohemia, so I was like 60
okay, that's
miles onto
far
the
out
island.
east.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'll go out that far. I'll go to the North Fork. I'll do
okay.
golf courses out. It depends what it is.
I got you.
You know.
I got you. So
So yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was really interested because, from an outsider's perspective, right? I look at like our local scene here. There's, I don't know, probably within a, let's say, a 30-minute drive of my place. There's probably 50 solo acoustic venues. Let's put it that way.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a lot. They're mostly restaurants or
What town do you live in? I might move there.
yeah, so I live in a town of 1,700 people called Duncannon.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
it
that
is.
northern PA?
It is right outside of Harrisburg. I'm about 20 minutes north of the state capital, so it's like south central Pennsylvania.
Okay, not
So-
north enough for me.
No,
Okay,
yeah.
because I'm a fly fisherman. I'm thinking how quick.
Ah,
Because I have friends in Pike County,
okay. Oh, okay.
and I
Yeah,
thought about moving to Pike County, like Lords Valley,
yeah.
like near what's that one that's right near the New York border? Not that town, but that neck of the woods, like
Sure.
near like Middletown, Route 84, like
Is that Scranton or Wilkes-Barre or
it might be towards,
Williamsport?
yeah, like the Delaware Water Gap, but the
Okay.
upper part of it.
Yep, yep.
For PA sense, it would be the upper, I guess, part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Pike County. But anyway, so yeah, so within 30-minute drive, you have like 50 venues.
There's probably about 50. Now, out of those 50, a lot of them, they host music like, once a night, once a week, or maybe some of them are twice a week. There's some venues in our area that host music like 5 to 6 days a week, which makes it really rich. But what it also does is there's probably 300 solo acts in our area. So, right. And after COVID, holy shit, like everybody
Really?
that picked up a guitar, you know what I mean?
And everybody has my theory on it too is not only everybody that picked up a guitar, but everybody that was part of a bigger group
Yes.
that now has scaled down because that work for that bigger group isn't there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And
I don't know.
it's an interesting thing because I was wondering because I'm like, being up where you are, I'm sure there's a ton of gigs, but it's like, but how many players are in that area? You know what I mean? Or no?
New York is wild. It depends. Like Long Island, there's a lot probably in Long Island, but Long Island's big,
It's big. Yeah.
right? In the 5 boroughs, yeah. Yes and no. You got to remember about in New York, how do I put this? I'll give you an example. When I played, and they just texted me today. That was the thing I was talking about. That was pretty good. I used to do a lot of work for JetBlue,
Oh,
the
okay.
airlines.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of work.
You got a guitar. I saw it.
They'd fly me to Boston, play it here. They'd fly me down to Florida, play here. Right here at JFK Terminal 5, they have the Ring of Fire, they call it, where like Taylor Swift played when they first opened it up. They have like a little music,
Wow.
like a place that can function as a music venue in the middle of their big fancy Terminal 5 at JFK. That's their hub.
Wow.
And so I remember playing there and being like really moved by the interaction of the people coming and going because they weren't really New Yorkers.
Oh, right.
They were everybody,
Yeah.
Europeans and people from all over the country, and not even Europeans, people from all over the country, primarily
Right.
from the South, from wherever the hell they're from. I don't know where else people come from. Like California, wherever they're
Everywhere.
from.
Yeah, yeah.
Traveling to New York or from New York, and very interesting. Now, granted, they were at the airport, So it was a breath of fresh air to kill time, whatever it was. But it was not the people that are here kind of permanently.
Mm,
New Yorkers, they're tough. And a
yeah.
lot of the venues, how do I put it? Like, there's a lot of demographics, a lot of different kinds of people. They're not always into what we do,
Sure.
the
Sure.
music that we play. So there's not as much of a scene as you would think, because there's such a diverse amount of different people and different age groups and different walks of life, and just all it's not like a one culture that's into that stuff.
I gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah.
It's so there's a lot of work just because there's a lot of places, because it's just gigantically big
Right.
city.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's naturally a lot of places, but it's not like a scene for it. If that
Sure.
makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Or that's how I would see it, you
Oh,
know.
that makes
And there's a lot of competition.
that makes entire like a massive amount of sense to me because yeah, I mean it's even
It's
the
not what you would
same.
think.
It's even kind of the in our area, most of the venues are you'll get a mixture of venues, but classic rock and country are they clean up in this area. If you play classic rock or country, you can pretty much play any venue. I barely play either of those. I play like 90s hip hop, I play grunge, I play alternative, I play uh, classics, you know what I mean? Like Hall and
Yeah.
Oates and that kind of stuff. And I stay away from country and classic rock. And one thing that does, I mean, it kind of blackballs me from some venues. Like I can't get in there, but it really opens up. I have this gigantic berth of places that are like, thank God you're not
See,
playing
there you go.
the same old thing. You know what I mean?
See, so that just goes to show you, you gotta be you
Yes.
and find where you belong.
Right.
I've part of my YouTube channel evolved. What's the word? I don't know the word. Part of my YouTube channel came to be what it is now because I started. I always had this thing. I always kind of look ahead.
Hmm.
Like I closed my recording studio down 5 years before I was like, this is done. People are doing this shit on their laptops now. Like,
Right.
even though I had a small studio, I was already like what a new studio would be. But I'm like, even that is no longer
You
my
don't have
like
to.
modern day basement studio that people pay to come to. Even that is like an old world studio now,
Yeah.
because, and I was like, you know what? And the same thing I see with people who are playing the type of music I play, who are my age, in this part of the world anyway. I'm like, the venues that I knew would be mine before I even asked them, I was like, yeah, this is my gig. So no doubt they're gonna hire me. Like, they might sound arrogant, but that's how
No,
I
yeah.
knew. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
during a period of time, that's the way it was. Like, that's my venue. Like, they'll book me, and then everyone else can have whatever else is left. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It'll be me and a few other guys that I know are going to get work too, and then it's not like that anymore. A lot of years go by, and now you're 50. You're not 25. You're not 30, and there's other young people that are doing it, whether they're doing it good, bad. Otherwise, I'm not even going to go there. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter.
No.
What matters is now there's some 25-year-old person booking the act,
Yep. Yep.
and their clientele is not necessarily this. You're going to, like, it's like that. It's like the 50-year-old guy that's trying to still pick up the 25-year-old girl.
Mm.
Your taste may have stayed the same, but
Right.
but you're not 25 anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And you
Like,
might not even know it.
you don't even know
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, like, you think you're still like. So I'm not saying I don't get work. I'll get work, obviously, but like, I'm seeing the subtle. I'm like, now, to kind of, this is to your point, is, but there's work now that I get that those 25, 30-year-old kids would never get.
Yeah. Right.
because they want to hear James Taylor's. I mean, I play everything, but if somebody wants to hear this stuff, even if those younger guys play it, a 40, 50, 60-year-old booking person isn't going to trust them to do it.
Right.
They're not going to do it the way you might do it or I might do it because they're from a different place. And the point of this whole thing is know who you are and know where your stuff fits best.
Right.
There's always a home for what you do.
Yeah.
It's just a question of finding it and realizing as things change that you've got to always be scoping out the changing landscape.
That is
and not assuming that everything stayed the same just because you think it did.
right. That is such solid advice.
In that discovery made me say, I know what I'm going to do. I was having a temper tantrum, actually, in a way. This is a temper tantrum. I said, okay, this is going to sound evil. This place, it was a particular place that I just took it personally. I'm like, oh, they want to book this? They want to book. Oh, wow. Okay. I says, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And I'm going to show people everything I know.
Mm.
And everything that you know, I'm going to show them that too. I'm going to show everybody everything. Every trick that I know. Every song that I was like, I do Sultans of Swing and I do it this way. And every time I go out, people say, wow, yeah, I'll show you I'm going to show everybody how to do it. Now everybody knows. Now, not saying that they didn't maybe know how to do it before.
Sure.
I'm showing everybody how to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, this new acoustic guy has an awesome trick. He uses this pedal. I'm going to go home. I'm going to learn it. And then I'm going to show them everyone that too.
I love that.
That's going to be my business.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and why?
And I'm helping
why not?
People,
exactly.
And
yeah.
I'm helping myself.
Yeah.
Because if this is the way it is, then let's just all share everything.
Yep.
And it was me being like stomping my feet almost. That probably doesn't sound very nice, but I didn't mean it in a negative way. What I meant it was, what do I have to offer then?
Right.
Well, what I have to offer is this whole experience that I'm going through.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put it all out there and say, well, here it is. Here's the tricks. Here's how it feels. Here's, whatever it is. Here's what I'm going through.
Right.
This is where it's at for me. And I'll put it out there and maybe people will respond. Maybe it'll strike a chord with somebody, no pun intended. Maybe,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way, and I'm going through the same kind of transformation right now because of my realization that I'm probably always going to hate myself as a musician. Like, I'm probably always going to think, and not so much hate myself, but like, I'm never going to think I'm the man. You know what I mean? And
that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God. So if that's not going to be the thing, then what do I have? What do I have that I could be proud of? And I'm like, I could tell people how I went from not playing guitar to quitting my job to play guitar full time in 2 years. Great. I could tell people how that happens. And I could show them things that work for me and things that didn't work for me and things that I found out, like those open mic tips. One of my open mic tips was just be you at the open mic. You're not getting paid. Like, so many people go out and they're like, what would people want to hear at an open mic? Yeah. No, don't. It doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah.
Because let's say you go out there and you say, first of all, you're telling yourself this, what you think they're going to want to hear. You don't know if you're even right.
No clue. Yeah. No clue whatsoever.
What are you basing this off of?
Yeah.
Right. And I've done it. I'm not saying I don't do it. I still do it.
Same.
What should I play? But what are you basing it off of? And then wouldn't you rather them like you for who you are?
Oh, there's that. That's it.
Than not like you for who you're not.
That's it.
When, let's say you were going to play song X. And you go out and you say, but I think they're going to want to hear song Y. So I'm going to play song Y, not song X. You play song Y. You didn't even really want to play it. You played it because you thought you should play it. They didn't react the way you wanted, whatever that may be. Or maybe they did and you didn't perceive it that way because of your mood.
Right.
Because again, it's all internal.
Yeah.
All right. But let's just say you did song Y Didn't go over well. The next person comes up and they play song X.
And it crushes.
Crowd fucking loves it. And then you're going, son of a bitch. They had the nerve to play the song that I didn't have the nerve to play.
You got
One
it.
day, this was recently. This was within the last calendar year. I'm playing this bar. I might have told the story on one of my live things, but should I tell it? You want to hear it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, no. Yeah,
tell
absolutely.
me if I'm talking to him. So I'm playing. It's younger. It's a bar. It's a barbecue bar, grill, cool place, and it's younger people. You know, people in their mid-20s to maybe mid-30s. So I'm playing the Killers. I'm playing like Kings of Leon. I'm playing shit I'm playing stuff that's more. I feel more whatever. Some 90s alternative stuff. Chili Peppers.
Some Harvey Danger.
Yeah, just shit that I think was out of what I know would be the best bet.
Sure.
And it's not even so much in terms of what year the music came out of, in terms of the energy level of the music. I'm trying to play stuff that has like a to it.
Yeah.
So even if I'm playing Billy Joel, I'm playing like You May Be Right. I'm playing stuff that's got like
nice
energy to it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going over like a fart in church. Nobody cares. Finally, I'm just like, screw this. I'm going to play Hey There, Delilah. Hey There, Delilah.
Oh, yeah.
Just like I love that song, but I'm like, they're not going to want to hear that. You know what? Forget it. Why am I killing myself? Play Hey There, Delilah. The place erupts. I got guys, hugging me. Like, guys start dancing with their girls and and it happened to be a place where I could see the bartender and he could see me the whole time, just the way the place was situated.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and he looked at me and we were just like, what the hell is going on here?
Mm.
My point is, I said, screw it. I feel like playing Hey There, Delilah. I'm going to play Hey There, Delilah, where it didn't belong, or so I thought. The place ate it up, loved it.
You think it's because you felt like playing that? Like it was in you and you're like, I'm going to play this.
No, absolutely. Nope. I think I just got lucky.
Yeah?
Struck a nerve because they happen to like that song. Well, or maybe, I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's because, I don't really know. Maybe it's because that's the last thing they expected to hear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going through this now that you're asking me. I don't really know.
And maybe you had like a theme to the rest of the night and you shook it up?
Feel it. No, but then after that, they're like, "Can you play?" What else did I wind up playing? They wanted to hear like. Then I said, "Oh, all right, cool." Now I have them in my world.
Uh-oh.
So I played like Landslide. I'm like, all right, now we're gonna get gushy.
Right.
I played Landslide. Then what did I play after that? They were just they were young, what I call young kids. I didn't expect them. I was playing what I thought I was supposed to play.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that was a bad move.
No, sometimes you get it right.
I'm not saying that was a bad move.
Yeah.
But you have to play what you think you're supposed to.
Right.
I mean, you have to start somewhere, right?
Right.
But then when I finally was like, well, this isn't working, and I wasn't even saying it from a place of I always sound more nasty hearted than I am. I don't feel the way I sound. I say it's a New York thing. People always are telling me, calm down. I'm like, I'm calm. Like, it's just how I
right.
Calm down, man. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not.
You're like, this is calm. This is
me. Like, I'm not calm. And I wasn't playing it like, well, screw them. I'm going to play whatever I want. I was like, well, I'm killing myself here and it's not working. I'm just going to play this. It wasn't, that's where it was coming from. And like I said, the bartender and I looked at each other and we still talk about it. I'm like, remember that day I played Here, There, Delilah? I like literally, and honestly, and I kid you not, a few songs in, a fight almost broke out. It had to be moved outside, not because of Hey There, Delilah.
I was about to say, damn, dude.
Not because of the song, but the place, people started interacting more. There was people dancing and then, and then in that kerfuffle, something went down, and I'm like, am I on? Well, where am I? I'm just at the Twilight Zone.
Right, right. Yeah. No. I mean, it goes to show though, like I know just recently, I would say within the last year, I started going, you know what? For the most part, now I do a way different kind of show. So I do an all request show and I have people
That's
like
awesome.
they can text me requests from their seat. So sometimes I'll get 300, 400, 500 requests at a show. Yeah. And I'm just like,
What if you don't know? I mean, you know all the songs?
pretty much. I mean, I
Just
don't,
make it work.
yeah,
Wow, that's impressive.
yeah. Most of the time, I have about, and this is not so much a brag as it is. I got very obsessed with music.
Not bragging if you could back it up.
Yeah, I have like about probably 2,000 songs or so that I
Wow.
have that I have on my website that people can just literally like click a button and send it to me.
That's great.
So
That's
sometimes
a cool shtick too. Like, not saying it's a shtick,
right. No, I know what you mean.
but it's a thing that sets your thing apart.
You
so
got
in
it.
that sense, it's a shtick.
You
know
got
what I mean?
it. Yeah. So people
That's
will
great.
request stuff, but most of the time, like I'll have a somewhat of a set list. So I'll have like 20 or 30 songs, and on that list is only songs that I'm fired up about. It's the newest song I
Okay.
learned. It's all the songs that I'm like, I want to play these more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's no songs on there that are like reading the crowd. And since I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to that, like if the crowd
big.
tells me what they want to hear, I'll play it. But if they don't tell me, I'm only going to play
Play what
stuff
you
that
want.
I relate to. And then it's most of the time, if I'm not getting requests and I play my music, I'll either not get requests, like people be like, oh, I like what the mix of things that you're playing, or
That's good.
or I'll get a ton of requests and then it changes the environment of the room. You know what I mean?
And there is something to be said for when I talk about the Hey There Delilah. I wanted to play it because I was like, I'm tired of killing myself. I didn't want to play it because I felt I so want to play this song.
Right.
But that was just that instance, because
Sure.
at that moment, that's not what I was feeling at that day. But to your point of like, when you do want to play a song because you just want to play that song, that does, you can never lose when you do that.
No.
And it usually will work. It'll usually translate better.
Yeah.
So when you said, do you think Hey There Delilah translate? No, not in this case.
I got you.
Just not under those circumstances, because that's not where my head was at. If my head was at that place, then I could say that was the reason. But I know my head wasn't in that place. That's why I'm saying no. You never quite know for sure.
Right.
But I can say that you're definitely onto something, and I've experienced that myself. Like this song. Where is it? I wanted to play. I did a Bob Dylan video, and I'm not going to sing it out. I want to do this one. If you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the winds hit heavy on the borderline, remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. I wanted to play that song at the last party I was at this last weekend. What's that song? North Country Girl.
North Country, yeah.
Dilly, Bob Dylan.
Hey, it's good.
Dylan, but the Dylan version, like the old school.
Yeah.
That real and not cryptic, but that real like almost feeble sounding fingerstyle version of it.
Yeah.
I want to play it, and I've been playing it because I did that Dylan video, and I'm like, ooh, I haven't played that song in so long. I used to play North Country Girl that way, and I said, you know what? I'm playing it. Then no one in the room is going to know this song. You know what? People, I saw the.
Get some heads turning. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Then I saw like the one girl. It was a bridal shower, so it was all like 20-year-old females.
Fun.
And I saw one girl go like, because you start to read lips as you do this. You probably could. Can you read lips yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So I saw the one girl like, what is that? I could see them going, what is that song? Like I could see them talking about what was that song that had them going, wow, that's something.
Mm.
They didn't know what it was, but they
It's
definitely mentioned it to each other. Like,
it's a
and it
beautiful
wasn't a place
delivery.
of like, what is that song? It was,
Yeah.
what is that song? Then you see the phones. Then you see them who's
Shazamming.
looking it up,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever it is. And I
Yeah.
know you know that because if you do this long enough,
Yeah, yeah.
you know that that body language, and you start to read the lips, and you see the, when they're going this guy,
Right.
when they're telling you this guy's good, or where'd you find this guy?
Yep.
I know all of the facial expressions that go
Oh
that go
yeah.
with it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, like if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing a party, and I'm like a little bit timid about, not timid, but I'm a little bit like, oh, they're gonna like. You always feel that way. They're gonna like it. Am I playing the right songs? Are people into it? And then like the host, you'll see the host, and you want the host to be happy, or the event planner if you did it
Yes.
for an event planner,
Yeah, yeah.
especially an event planner. So when you're playing a place where they have an event planner, sometimes you play private parties for people. They have an event planner. If they have enough money, they have an event planner
Right, right.
that they say this is what we're looking for, and the event planner is the one that. So when you'll see the host go up to the event planner, if I'm playing and I'm always watching, you see the host go to the event planner, or you'll see somebody go to the host and say, like, where'd you find? Like, you can tell about it,
Right.
and at that moment, I'm always like, I'm good. I can do whatever I want now.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I got the green light. That's my green light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
The the
Now
the
I'm gonna do whatever I want.
the last private I played a private party last weekend, and this
Yeah.
lady, it was great because of having my song list on my website. She picked out every single song that I played for 3 hours. She went through and like color coded them for the times, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
time
that's great.
slots. So and for
Yeah.
me, I was like, I'm not going to be as creative as I want to be, but it's so much easier to just
You giving her what she
execute that
wants.
plan. Yeah. And they threw me a curveball halfway through the night with My Neck, My Back. Right. So
Oh
that,
shit.
yes. And I'm just kind of looking around and I'm like, are we allowed to play that? Like, it's a very ritzy venue.
What's
And
the age? Yeah, yeah. Like, what's the?
yeah, yeah. So the runner of the party's like, you can play it. If you know it, you can play it. I'm like, oh, I know it. So I started playing it, and the staff erupted. Like, there were people like
That's
freaking
great, dude.
screaming and
I gotta
losing
come
their
to one of your
minds.
shows.
Oh, bro.
I gotta come down to one of your shows, man.
It'd be yeah, we got, well, I'm gonna come up there, you gotta come down here. I love creating the aha moment at shows a lot of times, where it's like they weren't expecting to hear Biz Markie. They weren't expecting to hear some kind of hip hop from the
On an acoustic
tattooed
guitar.
bald
Yeah.
acoustic dude, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not,
Yeah.
when I walked in, they were like, oh, this guy's gonna be playing nothing but Tool, or like
Southern rock.
Southern
yeah,
rock.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
Yeah.
You're younger, so I gotta remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be playing. Yeah. Something more like. Yeah, I don't know. I see tattoos. I think motorcycles and
Yes.
Southern rock,
Yeah.
or maybe like you said, like Tool, something more like alternative type
Yeah. And then
stuff, something more hip.
I give them like Britney Spears, or I do a lot of Paula Abdul covers. I do like a ton of
That's great.
that kind of stuff, right?
Paula Abdul covers what song?
Straight Up.
Straight Up.
Oh my God, dude. Straight Up
Really?
is one of the songs. I started doing that right after I got started. That, No Diggity, and another one. And I had like my own kind of acoustic version of those. And they are ones, it doesn't matter what room I'm in. It doesn't matter where
Dude.
I am in the country. Like, they go over. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're beloved songs.
They are. They are. And it's like, what I love about 90s, especially 90s hip hop, or 90s, any 90s songs, is the fact that you're not just playing that to the people that are my age, right? So like 30, like mid 30s or mid 40s, up to 50 even. A lot of that 90s music really hits there. They were
Yeah.
listening to that, and their kids that are in that 20-year-old range, 25-year-old range, they listen to their parents listening to that.
Listen to it, yes.
So it's like I have
Yeah.
like a 30-year age range that I can just,
Yeah.
you want to hear Backstreet Boys? You want to hear, well, like,
And
you know what I mean?
You're playing a music that's not supposed to be played on the acoustic guitar, which
Yep.
is already like,
Yep.
is that what I think he's playing? Like
Yeah.
he's not supposed to be playing that.
Right. Yeah.
But and then you feel like when you do that, there's nothing. I find that people love when you're giving them something. How do I put it? Like they love that song, and the fact that you're not supposed to be playing it, but you are.
Yeah.
Like I don't say you're supposed to be playing it, but
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
expecting you to be playing it. And the fact that you are, you're kind of like validating the fact that they like it to them.
Right.
Like, oh, he likes that song too? I thought I was the
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
And I don't think they consciously think that, but it's like when you play a song that even if I just let's say there's that song North Country Girl that I just played. Let's say there was, and I mean, you know, there are young kids that like Dylan, so I was
Sure.
exaggerating
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
said no one here is going to know it.
Right.
But in that particular room, nobody actually did. But oftentimes you'll do something like that, and then there's those few people that they know it, and that is the last thing they expected you to play.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that you played it, you know, it's like if somebody will say, what's that song? Play Pearl Jam.
Oh
And
yeah.
I come out with,
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
I don't play Better Man.
No.
I'll play that song. And they're like, and that's a song that if you like that song, if that song struck a nerve at you, it means you rewound. It means you played that song a million times over.
Yes, yes.
Because that song, yes, I understand.
Oh yeah.
That song could get in you. And like that song could depress you for like a few days.
Oh,
But
yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like, they're like, oh, that's the one he picked. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They didn't expect you to pick that one. They didn't think you like that song as much as they do.
Right.
But
right.
you just did it. But you do.
Yeah.
That's what's great about music.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you like it that much, somebody else does too.
I love it how we can
Even if you know.
we can I say this all the time. Sometimes I'm introducing people to the same song that they've heard a million times, but completely different. So I'm like reintroducing, so they have like the familiarity of knowing the song, but the new kind of exploration of seeing me and my version of it. Because a lot of songs I just change. I mean, I don't really change progressions. But yeah, I change like I'll do it in a different key, or I'll do it as if it's a a heavy song, I'll do it as a ballad. If it's a ballad, I'll do it as a remixed hip hop version. Like I'll do just weird stuff. So people are like,
Yeah.
I'll just see heads like, what the hell?
But that's the art. That's the artist. That's you being an artist.
You got it. Yeah, because there's going to be a million guys that are out there playing the songs exactly how they're written in the same way. You know what I mean? And
I always tell people, don't do the Eddie Vedder voice. Please. If you're going to sing elderly woman behind a counter
yes,
in a small town, what is it? Don't go,
oh yeah.
like, don't do the Eddie Vedder thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're singing Pearl Jam or if you're singing, even with Dylan, like I have to be careful because sometimes you start to emulate the artist too much.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and that can be okay, I guess, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it because that's how you approach every song.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of people that's just what they do, and it's not a good look. So what you're doing is really awesome to kind of say, okay, I'm going to do this thing my way.
Yeah.
And that's that.
The only thing that it never translates for me is I get a fucking stupid twang in my voice when I play country music. I don't know where it comes from.
That's cool. Yeah.
I just watch videos back and I'm like,
Dylan thing when I do that.
Yeah.
I try to like, what's that one? I'm not gonna remember, but so see, like to this day when I hear that song, see you standing there all night long, discount shades and store-bought tan, flip-flops and big old jeans, whatever. Somewhere between that setting sun, I'm on fire, I'm born to run. Looked at me, I was done with, just getting started. I was singing to you.
Oh, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a song where you can, I was singing to you and you were singing to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't have a bass boat. So like my thing with that was always like if somebody asked me to play, say that's like obviously a country song. When I think about you, I think about 17. Think about my old G. Think about the stars in the sky. Funny how a melody sound like a memory, like the soundtrack to a July Saturday night. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Springsteen. You could sing it like you. Like, now, granted, I'm not saying that's some big interpretation of the song. It's not.
No, but I like
mean, it's
I like your
fingerstyle,
version better.
But I have to sing it like me. I always say I'm a
Right.
Jewish kid from Queens. Like, what do you? I have an Italian last name, but I'm a half breed. My mom. I'm a Jewish kid from Queens. What do you expect me to sing it like?
I got you.
You know, what is it? I hear the train coming.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not going to sing it like that. It wouldn't be right.
Right.
It wouldn't be me, you know. So
It has to be you.
you know, but you have to do it like you. So even if it's just a matter of taking a song like that Springsteen song and giving it some finger style and turning it into a Paul Simon song,
Right.
or
Right.
however you want to turning it into, I don't know, whatever way you want to think of it, and then singing it. But when I do Dylan, somehow I always wind up
Doing the Dylan voice.
sounding it more Dylanish. I don't want to say doing the Dylan voice, because that I hope not, but definitely doing more of the Dylan voice than I want to be doing.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
That makes that makes entire sense.
I don't really want to be doing it that way, but somehow it just comes out that way a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't want to eat up too much of your day. So I got some YouTube questions for you that I think.
Go ahead, yeah. Whatever you want to ask.
I
Man.
think this one here, man, is more. Maybe it's more for me, but it's really for everybody who's trying to do anything with their YouTube channel. Do you have any advice or tips or tricks when it comes to growing your YouTube channel? Because I looked I kind of at your history. You had 1,000 subscribers in May of 2023. You have, as of this morning, you
And I had
have
300 before that.
Are you serious?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, and then I'll.
Yeah. So as of this morning, you have 36,400 subscribers to your channel. So it grew, and just in 2020, May of 2024, you had 10,000. So you went from 1,000 to 10,000 to 36,000. So how did that happen? And what advice do you have, man?
Okay. All right. So I've had a YouTube channel since like 2007.
Good Lord. That's crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, by default, I had a YouTube channel. I'm a singer-songwriter, right? I saw music come out. Maybe it was 2011. No, 2007. I gotta look. If you look, you'll see. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
A long time. Now, YouTube was like. That was during the days when like the Biebs was going viral. No, I don't know what it was, but like YouTube was a place back then where you record yourself, you played a song, you have a song that came out, you record yourself, and you put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It wasn't about having a YouTube channel.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So my YouTube channel was like I did a cover of Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke, or whoever his name was.
Yep.
And this is my buddy's like, you got to cover Blurred Lines. I think it wasn't 2007. I had the YouTube channel. I maybe had 100, 200 subscribers just over the course of time. By naturally, every so often, you come out with a song and people would watch it and they subscribe, but I never did anything with it. It was just there.
Right.
Okay, cool. But that's not when people made YouTube videos about anything anyway. It was just like, I'm a songwriter. I sing songs and I put them on my YouTube channel because that's what you do.
Right. Yeah.
Then my buddy, and again, I might have had 100 subscribers. My buddy's like, you gotta do that song Blurred Lines everyone's talking about. I'm like, I don't even like that song. He's like, just do it for me. And I'm like, if I do this song, I'll be more upset if people like it. Because now I gotta go out and
now you gotta play it.
Song. It gets like 70,000 views.
Good
Mind
Lord.
you, this has nothing to do with my current YouTube, what we're talking about now.
Sure.
This was years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch. I would go out and play parties. Be like, could you do blurred lines? We saw you on YouTube. I'm like, I'm stuck playing. Now, thank God that was a long time ago. Nobody even knows about that video. I went to like 300 subscribers from that one video. Okay, cool. That's years ago. And then the YouTube channel stayed at 300 some odd subscribers. It inched its way up to 300 and change over the course of the next 10 years, like, because I never did anything with it.
Right.
Cool. During COVID, I started doing, I was calling it music and mugs. Still had my house. I still had my studio. I had a nice recording studio. And I did a daily show every morning at 10 a.m., I think it was. I would go on. I had this live sound set up from the studio sound pumped in. I'd stream it on Facebook.
Hmm.
And I had a little community of people. They would listen to me sing songs and we'd talk. I even was able to bring people on. I don't remember how I did it then, because I remember when you said if you could figure out how to, but it wasn't a podcast. It was a Facebook Live.
Right. Yeah.
So that was like the first thing of learning how to like stream keys and all these other things. We all learned that during that time. We all learned what that was, right?
Right.
So now. Okay, so then that was, let's say 2019, 2020, whatever year that was. 2021, I sold my house, June of 2021. Now we're here. That was 2021. That was that. I don't remember 2021. 2022, I remember, I started putting stuff on TikTok. I'm going to teach you how to play Fade to Black in 60 seconds. And I would do like little charts and stupid shit like that, you know. And little wouldn't you know it, TikTok, I was like, look at this. This thing got like 20,000 views. And when I had set up my TikTok, when I did it, I guess, I put my links, it asked you for all your links. I had a link to my YouTube just because I filled in all my links.
Sure, yeah.
Not because I was trying to promote my YouTube, because I just was like, oh, here's my Facebook link. I did I was the good boy, and I did what I was told when I set up the account. It must have said, add all your links. And so I did.
Right.
And then, wouldn't you know it, like, it was like, I don't know, at some point I looked at my YouTube and I'm like, whoa, I added like 100 YouTube subscribers, like in the last couple. I'm like, what? I'm like, is it those stupid TikTok videos? So I did a few more TikTok videos, and I have quite a bit of them now. I haven't done one in a while. Like I'd like how to play Love Me 2 Times by The Doors. Whatever it was.
Sure.
Let's do that one. How to play Stairway, whatever it would be. And then I'm like, what if maybe I should make videos on YouTube. Maybe I should make like guitar videos, instructional videos on YouTube.
Right.
So now this is October of 2022. I went to Best Buy and I bought this, my Sony ZV-1.
Okay.
My first camera. Because I said, well, if I'm going to make YouTube videos, if I'm going to try to make YouTube videos, I'm not going to do it with my phone because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to do it because it's already a pain in the ass making videos.
Right.
So if I have to add any more obstacles to this, and I had my webcam. That's what I was doing my Facebook Lives with. But I'm like, that's not going to cut it. So I got that camera in October, and I was like, I'm going to get monetized. I don't care if I get monetized and make 1 cent. I'm going to get I don't care if it takes me 10 years. I'm going to get monetized.
Yeah.
I bought this camera. Not that it was that much. It was like $700-800, whatever it was. And I'm going to get monetized. So now this is September/October of 2022. And I stopped making, I think my first video, I don't remember if it was how to play. It might have been like how to play. I think it was how to play Message in a Bottle. Whatever it was. And I remember like the algorithm gave it like 1,000 views, like that day. I'm like, that's it. I figured it out. I'm going to get monetized.
I figured it out.
I'm good. I
Yeah.
cracked the code.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the end of that day, that 1,000 views stopped getting views. And then the next morning, I'm like, oh, by tomorrow. That was it.
Hmm.
Got a run, and that was it. And I was like, well, that's not, but that, learn how YouTube works. That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube was like, oh, this idiot made a video finally. Let's show it to people. Apparently, nobody really liked it, or not enough people liked it for the algorithm to keep pushing it. So it stopped dead on the vine. Okay. So what do? Well, you keep making videos.
Hmm.
You keep making videos. You keep making the video. Then I did a review of the TC. I was like, I'm going to do a review video because I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. My thought is, oh, I'm getting plays on TikTok. Let me teach guitar stuff. I don't know.
Right.
That's what I know how to do. I know how to play guitar. Let me teach people how to play some guitar stuff. I'm not going to go sing a song and be like, oh, this is me singing a song. Okay, whoop-de-doo. You
Right.
sing a song. Hooray for you.
Right. Right.
You and everybody else.
Yeah. How
What
can
makes you so special?
Yeah, how
Unless
can-
you are like Pavarotti or some, or you play guitar. Okay, if you're not Tommy Emmanuel or some freakishly good player, that's not enough.
Right.
So I did a review of the TC Electro. I'm like, I'm going to do a looper pedal review. I reviewed the TC Electronics. And I'm like, I'm going to do a review. And my cousins at the time, I love that's what I love about where I come from. Because we're very brutal. My
I'm so excited.
So my cousin calls me up and he goes, I saw your review. It's good. He goes, but can I tell? I'm like, go ahead. He's like, can I tell you something? I'm like, yeah, what? He goes, I kind of want to punch you in the face.
I love that. That's funny.
And I said to him, I said, I know what you mean. When I watch it, I kind of want to punch myself in the face too. Because it's not me. I'm talking the way I think I'm supposed to talk. And because you're learning how to be in front of, I don't know how to do it. I'm doing what I'm thinking I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Okay, let me try to make this faster. So you do video after video after video. And then eventually, that was October. You have to reach 1,000 subscribers. I think they might have lowered the bar lately. I don't know what it was. But you needed to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours within a 365-day period. Does that, you know what I'm talking about?
I think that's still what it is. Yep.
That's what it is. So you have to have 4,000 watch hours, and every day the 365th day disappears. So within the most recent 365 days, you have to have accrued 4,000 hours of watch time, people watching your content, and the 1,000 subs. The 1,000 subs kind of happens easier, I found.
Okay.
I hit the 1,000 subs by that summer, I believe. So this was October. I was putting videos out consistently. And my consistently did actually have ebbs and flows too, because it's a heartbreaker. Trying to get going on YouTube is very, 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 even still it is. It's hard. It's heartbreaking. So I would do maybe a video every 2 to 3 weeks. I would try to do a video every 2 to 3 weeks. But then I'd go a month and I wouldn't do a video. And I would be driving my wife to the subway, and I'd be like, no matter what I do today, I'm going to go back. I don't care if I'm talking about nothing. I don't know what I'm going to do a video about. I have no ideas. I'm not inspired. I don't know what to do. But damn it, I'm putting the freaking camera on, and I'm making a video about something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll figure it. And I kept moving because I made a vow to myself that I'm going to get monetized. So I kept making these videos. And then I started doing things like, let me take people to work with me when I play at the Salty Dog. I'm going to pack the car. I'm going to talk a little bit about the gear. And I'm just going to take them with me and with this camera and set it up on the mic because that's all I had. Set it up at the place. And then that video would get like 400 or 500 views. And I was like, which was a lot.
Oh yeah.
which was good. And I'm like, all right, let's do another one. And then that video would get, 200, 300, 400, and 100 views. You could see, and then there'd be a comment, and and then you get a few sub, like every, maybe you get like 20 new subscribers, 50 new subscribers a month, and I'm like, all right, 100 subscribers a month, okay. So I would say, so then I start doing the math. I'm like, at this rate, I'll be monetized in another year, maybe, or in another, whatever it is. Keep making the videos. And then, so now we're in the next October 2023. I'm still not monetized yet. I didn't get monetized till April or May of this year of 2024.
Wow.
Last year.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm not monetized 12 months.
I got
I'm not monetized. I will not be monetized 12 months until it was May 9th. I got monetized. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January.
Yeah.
I'm monetized almost 9 months. That's it.
Wow.
So I remember telling my friends, well, by this date, I should be monetized. Whatever. So now we're in last October, and I'm still going. But now I could see that I will get monetized. And now I have, let's say, maybe I have like 2,800 watch hours, and I'm going, okay, if I keep doing these videos and I get this kind of X amount of watch, I don't remember what the exact numbers were at the time, but in my head I had it figured out. I'm like, I'll be monetized probably by what, about now? I thought I'd be monetized by about now. Let's say like this time, like 2025, I'll be monetized. And then we started watching, because as the channel started getting like more views, and I would get like, people would email you, ask you questions. I was like, oh, there's a little bit of a pulse out there of something.
Yeah, there's a community.
I can get a sense. I can get a sense of who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Who's listening. So now I know, okay, this looks like this is who's listening. Now I know who I'm talking to. Right. Now it becomes a lot easier to make a video. Like the songs. Should I sing song Y or song X? Well, I know who I'm talking to. So let me just be me talking to them.
Right.
So then my wife started getting intrigued about that. Now suddenly I wasn't an idiot who was trying to become, not that she thought that, but she was like, this. I mean, she knew I would get monetized if I said I was going to get monetized, but she started seeing like the smoke. There's a little smoke coming out of the embers were starting to smoke a little bit. It was like, so we started watching a lot of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, the YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
And then you start watching interviews of Mr. Beast, and you start watching. Anyway, you go down the YouTube rabbit hole, and you learn the importance of YouTube basics, how YouTube works. Rule number 1: thumbnail.
Oh.
Nobody wants to talk about the thumbnail.
Yeah, you taught me that. Just so you know.
If you don't have a thumbnail, you don't have shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Make the thumbnail before you even make the video.
Yep. Make it as engaging as possible.
You don't have a video.
Right.
You don't have anything. Maybe now, all right, I have audience, so I may have a chance at a video doing well without a good thumbnail, but that doesn't, and I'm not saying that to mean anything, because you know what? Okay, so your video without a good thumbnail will still only do, all right, Frank, you have an audience maybe. So you can go lax on the thumbnail. Okay, so your video will get 20% of what it would have done had you done the thumbnail, right? And you won't grow a new audience.
Right. Yeah.
So you'll give your audience what they like, and that's good. Thumbnail. So I remember one day, so now we're in that October, not monetized yet. It might have been around early April, but the channel was starting to show signs of, I'm like, all right, this is getting fun now. Even though I'm not monetized, it's getting views, people are responding. And I'm like, that's cool. That's kind of what it's all about, right?
Right.
I said, I got an idea. I have an idea for a thumbnail. the 10 Commandments of Solo Acoustic, which happened to be the video that you.
That's the one I got on the podcast. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the thumbnail got me.
I said, I'm going to sit here with my Adobe that I just freaking subscribed to last year, Photoshop, what I was telling you before.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'm going to, whatever my idea was, I'm going to get the Bible and lightning bolts, and it's going to be the Gothic
It's perfect.
thing, and I'm going to make the video like, it was more, that video was a little bit more like silly than I've made them since then, because that was still like, it was a concept, I thought, at the time. It's as stupid as it is. And I made the 10 Commandments of Solo Acoustic. Thou shalt not, whatever they are. You remember, you did your thing on.
Oh, yeah.
And that video is ancient history almost to me now. So I do the video. I show the thumbnail. I'm like, okay, now I got to do the video. But that should be easy, right? Thou shalt not. And it was fairly easy. I didn't have the chops that I have now as far as how to make a video as much. Even though I was making videos, that video had to have, you set up a format for it. Now you have to stick to that format that you conceived of.
Right.
And until your video chops are there's little logistics, whatever. So you figure them out, whatever. Put the video out. And I remember, this is going to sound very New York. The video, I put it out that day. It's got like 300-400 views within like 5-6 hours. And I'm like, holy cow, got 50 views in the first hour. Holy cow. Like that was a big deal.
Sure.
And I remember it was 6 o'clock. It had like, I don't know, like 700 views. And I was going out to get fried shrimp and galamata at the Italian place over here. I says, let me go. I'm going to pick it up. We ordered it. I go pick it up. I'm there 20 minutes. It's right down. I come back and now it's over 1,000 views. I'm like, I just went out to get food and I came back. I'm like, by the time we finish eating dinner, it's going to maybe be at 1,200. I don't know. We finish eating dinner. It's at 1,500 views.
Good Lord. Yeah.
I'm like, now I look at that. I'm like, I want to get 1,500 views in the first, but I'm not poo-pooing that either. It's good.
Sure.
Like, so I'm like, all right, we go to bed. Now it's the next morning. I wake up. I look at my phone I look at my phone. It's like 8:30 a.m. But I look at my text messages, and it's my buddy Ian, who's a school teacher. So he's like, yo, son, check out your video. This is a text message he sent me at 6 a.m. because it's timestamp.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my text. He's like, yo, son, check out your video. It's got 5,000 views. Because I was all night that night. I'm like, yo, check it out, Ian, dude. Like, so I'm like, oh my God, he says my video's got 5,000 views. I go look at my video. It's got 10,000 views.
Holy
because
shit.
His text was at 6 a.m. It's 8:30 a.m. I'm like, yo, it got 5,000 more views since you texted me that, 2 hours ago. Like, it doubled.
Whoa.
So now I'm looking at the watch hours. I'm like, well, I'll be monetized. Now I'll be monetized in like 3 weeks. Because I only needed only needed like maybe another 1,000 watch hours. And the video I'm like, oh, this video already has like 9. I don't remember what the watch hours were, but I'm like, I'm technically monetized right now. It's just a matter of YouTube catching up, because it doesn't happen instantly. It's like 2 days behind, whatever your stats are. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's not instant. So here we are. I guess it was like April-ish, late March, whatever that video came out. I got to look at when that video came out. And I did a couple more. I says, well, now I gotta what is it? Make hay while the sun is shining.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing. YouTube, the wave is not really the wave. You think, oh, this video did. Now I'm good. I figured it out. Only if you have a good thumbnail and a good video.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your latest video did. Because the YouTube algorithm is so smart that it weighs each video on its own merit. So you kind of, so to answer there's no quick one answer. It's the video has to have a good thumbnail, a good title, and it has to deliver on the thing that the thumbnail and the title promises. It also has to hold the audience for the first 30 seconds to 1 minute is critical.
Okay.
That's why you'll see a lot of YouTubers in the beginning throw something that's from the middle of the video in there, and you're like, whoa, and then boom, now they go to the intro.
Yeah.
Like because if you don't get the first engagement in the beginning, YouTube goes, oh no, stop showing this video to people. Don't put this in anyone's feed, because they're clicking off in 10 seconds.
Okay.
There's a lot of like craft that goes into it.
Yeah.
And as you get more comfortable, which was me, I got comfortable, and my views, my channel, like you said, it went from 1,000 views, and then literally as I monetized, and then it was like, I remember sitting at that same restaurant with my buddy Ian, because he took me out to eat when I monetized, because he was happy for me, because I'm taking you out, we're celebrating.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, because it was a big deal to me, I really wanted to.
It's a
really
lot of
wanted
work.
This.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we went out to eat, and I remember we were sitting there, and it was like, I don't know, I guess I was at maybe at like 1,500 subscribers now from 1,000. I was like, wow, I got like 500 subscribers in the last week. It took me 10 years to get the first 300 subscribers, and then,
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, so then by that summer, which was not this summer now, it was last summer now, I guess. I was driving everyone crazy with the YouTube. My friend that fishes with me, he came home. He goes, if I hear the word YouTube one more time, I'm going to kill somebody, because I didn't shut up about it. Because that's how I am.
No,
I said, dude, you should have told me. I could have told me. I want to. He goes, no, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. You were so excited. Yeah. I'm like, now that's a good friend.
Yeah.
But you have to you have to make the video that you want to be making, because you may think you have it figured out, but the algorithm is. I did a video. How many videos had I done that I'm like, this video is going to be great? And I'm even talking recently. I did the video, Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a tutorial how to play Here Comes the Sun. It's going to have a great thumbnail, which it does. It's going to have tabs. It's going to have tabs that you could follow. I put graphics in to show you where to put your fingers in real time as I play. Monumental amount of work. The video, nothing special. Maybe it got like 10. It got like 10,000 views, but that's not special.
Right. Yeah.
100,000 views for me is special. 500,000 views is whoa. Well, I shouldn't say that, because my looping video, that's the best video I have, got 400 and something thousand views as of now. The next biggest video maybe has 200 something thousand views.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
it's staggered. Yeah.
And then you could do a video that you think is going to be great, and it should be great, and it is great. Great video. Doesn't mean it's going to get the views you think it's going to get.
Right. Kind of goes back to doing what you want to do, so you're either loved or hated for what you actually want to be doing.
Yeah, right? Make the video you want to make. And the thing is, too, they say there's like hub content, hero content, and how-to content.
Yes.
So your videos, YouTube's it's a rabbit hole. Yeah. Go down that rabbit hole. It's not what people think. Like my buddy called me up. I want to make a stretching video for YouTube. Now that I saw what you're doing, I think he's a dancer. I went to performing arts high school, so he knows everything about being injured and being a 50-year-old person trying to keep the body going or whatever, right? I said, well, what do you think I should do, Frank? I'm going to get this camera. I'm like, the first thing you should do is watch YouTube.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Learn the platform. He goes, well, but what I want to do, I'm like, what you want doesn't really matter.
No.
Do you want to do well on YouTube? That should be what you want most.
Right.
And then figure out how what you have can fit into how YouTube works. And then you'll find it eventually. You may find it quick. You may get lucky. you may find it probably like me. I found it probably in what like the average. Like I would say, I found it in what the average amount of time would be for someone who's committed to trying to find it, maybe. And then there's people that maybe take some longer to find it, right? So I would say I'm probably like average for finding my audience or whatever it is that's going to make the channel be something that's worth doing.
Sure, sure.
You know?
Yeah. That makes sense, man. I mean, I've done the same. I've had the same approach as a lot of what you said there. Like I watched your YouTube videos. I watch other YouTubers. I watched even some of the TV shows that are on like Hulu or any of those that are like self-produced. You see a lot
Doesn't
of
have
those.
to be your niche that you're watching.
You got it. Yeah. And I'm like, what do they do? And I'm like, oh, they have like they do a little clip, like you said. They do a little clip from inside there somewhere right at the beginning to hook you. And then they put up
That's the hook.
some music.
That's called the hook.
And some pictures from throughout the episode or whatever. And then they dive into it. And they, you know, the first minute is spent explaining exactly what you're going to learn from the video and not just diving into the lesson. They're not asking for subscribers in the first minute. You know what I mean? Like it's all.
I have a bad habit of doing that. Somebody told me that today. She's like, stop begging for subscribers. I'm like,
you're like,
I wanted
listen,
to say,
yeah.
I was going to give him a mushroom, but I'm like, first of all, I'm not begging for subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you'd like, please hit the top.
You got it.
People,
Yeah.
But yeah, they say you should do it after you deliver something,
Right.
not right away,
Right.
because people don't know who you are, and there's probably something to be said for that. You know,
I think I don't think there's a magic formula. I just think that maybe if you spend 20 seconds on it going, you know, all I do on this channel, they're going to be like, okay, click that.
yeah,
Next.
yeah, they don't know you. They don't care about you.
You got it.
Even when they like you, they don't care about you. 'Cause why would they?
Right.
Do you care about anything when you watch it? Like, oh, click.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. It's just
No.
know the platform.
Know the platform.
You know?
Yeah.
Know the platform, and the platform changes.
That's one of the biggest things that I get views on right now. So like I'm like 8 videos, 9 videos, like professionally kind of done videos. Because when I bought the Osmo camera after I watched your whole
I love
episode
that you
on it,
did that. That's awesome, man. I
Yeah.
love to hear that,
Dude, well-
it's nice to know that you're helping people.
yeah, no. Well, I was looking for something, and I was like, you know, I really want to grow. Like I said, it was my goal for this year to grow my YouTube channel, and I'm like, I got to have a better camera. So as soon as I bought this, I was like, now I have to do something to justify the amount of money that I spent on this thing. So I started making
It's
videos.
exactly.
Yeah. And it's like, it motivated me to start just constantly doing videos. And with me, I've been doing, so last year I wanted to start this podcast. I hadn't done a podcast in 20
You got
years.
a good podcast voice too.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you got a good podcast voice.
Yeah, so I wanted to start the podcast, so I was like, I'm going to do it once a week. And then I was like, I'm going to do 2 episodes a week all year. And I'm going to commit to it, and I'm going to interview people.
It's ambitious.
Yeah. And and I went from like I probably got 50 listens maybe to each episode to like most of them now are like in that 3,000 to 4,000 listen range.
Nice.
Which is crazy, and it's just from doing it all year. So the YouTube thing, as soon as I started making YouTube videos, I started noticing right away what sold. And I do multiple YouTube videos a week. I do like an instructional. I took the podcast and turned it into video, so that way there I can have 2 video episodes a week of the podcast and turn
A lot of work. I give you credit. I know that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I turned one of those episodes in. I used to have this episode called Thursday Thoughts, and I would do every Thursday. I would just get on. I would talk about the shows I had coming up, and then I would talk about whatever was on my mind. Like literally, it didn't have to pertain to music. It could be anything. And what I've done is I turned the Thursday Thoughts into like every Thursday I do some sort of instructional podcast, and then I turn that into a YouTube video. So between you're
recycling the content.
You got it. So I get the podcast audience with it, and then I also get the YouTube audience with it.
Smart.
And now that and my hiking videos with my German Shepherd get so many extra shares and stuff off of YouTube. Like those 2, if I have a thumbnail with my German Shepherd in the picture, it's like immediately gets upregulated. Like I think the one got. So this is coming from getting 5 to 30 views on most of my videos to 140 to 200 in the first
Good for you, man.
10 hours.
I know how it feels. That makes me happy.
Yeah,
I love that the Osmo. You know what? You're gonna make me hold on. I'm gonna lovingly caress my Osmo now, just because you said that.
It's the best camera.
Here it is.
It's literally the best
Here's
camera.
my.
Yeah,
It's the greatest. I had mine in Thailand with me. We took this thing everywhere. This was my, this bag is from Thailand.
That's,
No, everything. This thing came with me everywhere in Thailand. I did because I have a food content channel too that I'm working on.
Your video,
but anyway.
well, your video in Thailand is in addition to the one for the DJI. Your video from Thailand is the one that sold me on the DJI. I saw
wow.
I saw you walking at one point, and I saw a reflection of you holding the DJI in the background, and I went,
They're great.
Oh, that's that camera. That thing is crystal clear.
It really. I'm talking to you now on it's got to be over $2,000 worth of camera that I'm talking into, right?
That's crazy.
And it's a great camera.
Yeah.
Look, it's maybe 1% better than the Osmo in terms of image quality. You will never know if it's granted, it's in my YouTube studio and I use it for still photos and I use it for other stuff and I wanted it.
Right,
so I bought it.
Right. Yeah.
I saved for it twice. I saved my tip money. I remember at the gigs, I said, I'm going to take my tip money and my tip money is going in this envelope and I'm going to save for the A6700 because that's what I want with this particular lens. So I got that with the Sony with the 15 millimeter. So it's like it's about a $2,000 setup roughly altogether. I got more lenses too because I went a little nuts, but that's beside the point. And I saved for it, and I had the money, and I'm like, you know what though? Like my YouTube's making money off of this camera. Why do I need that other camera? I don't need it. So I took that money and I put it in the bank.
Yeah.
And then gas, they call it gear acquisition syndrome. The gas came on again 3-4 months later. And I'm like, you know what? I was going to I knew I was going to Thailand like 5 months out. And I said, but I want to take stills. I need a viewfinder. I want a more professional, even though this you could forget about what you could spend on cameras. This isn't even, this is like still prosumer level, which is fine for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I really want it. So what did I do? I started saving my tip money again. So I saved my tip money. So then because I felt bad buying it.
Right.
Then when I saved the tip, I said, you know what? I already technically saved for this camera once. So by right, I could go buy it right now because I saved for it once. I just chose not to buy it after I saved for it. And then I saved for it again. I got about 60% of the way to saving for it again. And then I'm like, all right, I'm buying it. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
I'm buying it. I saved for it 1.6 times over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I let myself buy it.
I think that's a good way to use your tip money though. Is reinvesting. Like I know I go into the whole I literally bought my first guitar on the way to my first gig. And I was like immediately in the hole, right? Like literally on the drive.
Yeah.
And then I bought like a Bose sound stick, like the Bose stick, like everybody uses.
Oh, which one? I need one. I don't have a system. My system sucks. It's okay, but
yeah, the
L1?
The L1 compact. I still have the original.
Which one did you get? The 8 or the 16?
So that's the new version. And the new versions are awesome.
Oh, you have the original one.
I have the original, and I'll tell you this, man. I'm gonna do a gear review at some point.
I'm gonna have to get that one.
That Bose L1 that you can find for $600 now, pretty much brand new. That thing, I've put at least 800 gigs on that. At least 800 gigs. It's been flooded 4 times, literally filled with water 4 times.
Still works.
Still works. No problem, and it's crystal clear sound. I get before I could play well, I got millions of compliments on my sound. Just that's the only compliment I would get would be like, your sound is incredible, and I'm like, thank you. So, because I try to drive it home to every musician that I can talk to. It does not matter.
I need something better than what I've been using.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how.
I'm
good
like a
you can
minimalist
play.
with gear.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you can play if your sound is shit.
Of
It
course.
makes
Yeah,
no
of course.
it has no
Audio's
bearing.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but
Oh,
yeah,
I have to look into that one.
I like that. And also, if you're looking for something portable, and I don't know how much busking, if you do any busking, or if you're into that, but
No,
the
not here. It's New York.
oh yeah,
I need
yeah.
a bulletproof vest if I
Right.
on the bus.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not,
I have the
I'm too old.
I have the EV Everse 8, and that's a battery powered
Hmm.
speaker. And it gives you like 11
Oh,
hours of
somebody was
battery
talking
life.
about that on one of my live, because every Monday I do a live at
Yeah,
seven
yeah.
o'clock. Somebody came in and was talking about that, and I looked it up, and he said he loves it. You love it too?
Oh, it's the best. I take it whenever because I gig at like the Delaware beaches right over the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take that thing down to Ocean City, and it powers my pedal board off the speaker. So I can run. Oh yeah,
Wow.
and it has like built-in effects and compression, and everything else is built right into it, and it's Bluetooth, so you can kind of play music if you need
Oh,
to.
I'm gonna have to. I have to get with it. I gotta update my setup.
It's the best.
I've been using this SA220 forever,
Oh
the
yeah,
Fishman.
yeah, yeah.
That thing has been in my. That thing hasn't. Well, except when I bring it here to do something. But that thing, it's in my car right now. It doesn't leave my car.
Nope. Yep.
It's
Same.
been in my car for 12 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, it's disgusting though. It's got to go. It's rusted. The stand. It's done. The amount, like this thing doesn't owe me a dime.
Yeah.
You know, and it was only like $999.
It's worth every penny.
12 years ago when I bought it. You know,
Yeah.
I need something. And I've had other things. I've had like the the full EV powered speakers,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the EK. I forgot what line it was at the time. It was a good one. The 15-inch and the 12-inch. And I thought, you know, when I sold my house, I got rid of almost everything and more than half of my guitars too, because I was going to move. I wanted to be mobile. I wanted to lift the anchor out of New York so that I could go to, if I want to go to Thailand for 2 months, I can. If I want to go, you know, but obviously I'm still here, but I'm now able to, well, no matter what happens, it doesn't really matter because I don't own any property here
Right
now.
Yeah, you don't
So
have
I
that
could-
base. Yeah.
It's like I said, I lifted up the anchor.
Yeah.
I'm a citizen of planet Earth now.
That's the best.
That's how,
the
even
best
though I
thing to
stay
be.
here, but I feel like I'm a citizen of planet Earth.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's nice to not
You know,
have that, man.
I'm a citizen of planet Earth.
Right.
You know, that's my mindset,
I like it.
you know,
Well, dude,
as of now.
we've been talking for almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna get you out of here.
All right. Yeah, dude.
And
Let me take a picture.
absolutely, hell yeah. I really appreciate you doing the podcast today, man, and being on and sharing your knowledge. I could talk to you for fucking hours, but that's probably
We'll do another one if you want.
absolutely. Yeah, I want to have you back on at some point whenever I'm at 1,000 subscribers and be like, "Hey Frank, we did it," you know, or something.
Yeah, dude. I wish you the best. I really do. I think you're gonna do really well.
I appreciate that, man.
Your journey's authentic.
Yeah.
As soon as you told me that, I was like, "Oh shit, that's cool!" Like somebody gave you starting out with something that I think it's inspiring.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. I was a welder, and I used to like fertilize people's lawns. That's what I did before I would quit my job to do this full time.
It takes big balls.
Yeah. Well, I figured I was
I
like,
did it.
you get
but
one
I did
life.
it at 25. It's a big difference.
Yeah, I get that. I just figure you get one life. You get one chance, and like, I mean, you might get more. Who knows? But like,
Well, as far as we know,
we get one life, and I'm like, I don't want to spend it doing a bunch of shit that doesn't do anything for me, doesn't do anything for
Yeah.
other people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just want to.
Fellow troubadour, I commend you,
Oh,
my
man.
fellow troubadour.
I love that.
You're
dude.
fighting the good fight.
Absolutely. Well,
All right, man.
how does everybody? So if anybody doesn't know how to find you, how do they find you? How do they check you out, man?
Frank Persico. Frank, Frank, Persico. You know, what is it? Persico. That's my YouTube channel. Frank Persico. You can just Google Frank Persico. You know, how do I use a looper pedal? Frank Persico. Whatever it is, you'll find me.
I love it.
You'll find me. Yeah, they'll find me.
I love it.
Or I'll come find them.
That's perfect. That sounded creepy. I like
Yeah, that's weird. I'm watching them.
I'm watching
actually watching you right now.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right, man. Once again,
All right,
thank you
dude.
for being here, dude. I really
You got it,
appreciate
man.
it. And we'll connect again, man. So,
All right, bro.
all
Be
right,
good,
brother.
man.
Hey, absolutely.
Take care.
All right, man. I'll
You
talk
got
to you then.
Thank you for tuning in today. Your support keeps the music flowing. Every note and what I play means the world just to hear you know it. We'll see you next time. Don't stray far. Your love is our shining star. Keep the harmony in your heart. We'll be together